Hi guys, thanks for joining me once again at Photo Tutorials. We have another Capture NX2 tutorial. If anybody's familiar with the Nikon cameras, we're going to use D-lighting to get this area of the roller coaster back into decent exposure, and we're going to use the control point to do that. And basically what we're going to do is just throw a little bit more detail in there. As you can see, this is the area that's been selected, that's highlighted in green, and it's a setting that a lot of Nikon cameras have got. I have mine set to high, the daylighting, and I also have the active daylighting set to high as well. Canon uses it's probably called highlight priority or something like that, but this is a feature that we have in Capture NX2, which I'm sure Canon have got their own version of it in their RAW converter, where we can increase the shadows. So basically we can move this selection point around to sample the pixels that it's of the area that it's sort of sat on, if you like. And what we're going to do is just going to move it around there, and I think this is probably the one that I'm going to go for, is this setting here, where it's at the moment. And basically what we do is go to light and we go to daylighting, and there, if you look on the right hand corner down here, we've got the daylighting tool selection, what you can just keep it basic or advanced. Basically what we're going to do is we're just going to move that up, and as you can see there's a lot more detail coming out of those shadows, and what it's doing is it's just lifting that sort of shadow detail out a bit so we can see those skin tones a lot better. And what we can do is there is an advanced option down here as well, and if you want to go into the advanced menu, you can do, but you can, if you move these sliders like what I am now, and you can muck about with your highlights and your shadows and the color saturation. And if that doesn't suit you, then what you can do is you can then go back into the advanced section and just see how this fares up with the settings that you've given it. So basically we're not sort of getting too far with the basic settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add multiple selection points. So rather than just use the one selection point on the basic setting, then what we can do is we can use multiple control points. That way we can get an even area and get those highlights back into the shadows and have that whole area looking pretty much the same. I mean, this guy at the end here is probably going to need a little bit of work on individual on the bottom left hand corner. So, and basically this is all it is. It's just moving those selection points around, and once you've made the adjustments on the D-lighting, you can keep those exactly the same and move the control points about and keep the settings exactly the same. So this is what I'm doing, is I'm just moving the control points around and adding the D-lighting to the whole area of that roller coaster where the carriage is, with the people sitting on it. And if you zoom in, you can see how it's brought a little bit of that detail back, and you can sort of work on this till you're satisfied that you've got the right balance of exposure. So just a nice little quick tutorial for anybody who's interested in NX2, and I'd just like to thank you for watching, and I hope you found it useful. See you next time.